What does the symbol of the Statue of Liberty actually represent?
To uncover the covert secrets around us, we have to study symbology. In Rainey's piece, we have symbols of a Christmas tree, which looks like an apple tree. She's seated in front of a body of water, and she is flanked by a male on the left and a female on the right. These are very significant symbols, and they represent a connection to the Statue of Liberty. Notice the word mama on the tree and the shape of the Christmas tree being a triangle or a pyramid. There's a rainbow coming out of the back of her head as if her consciousness is being downloaded into an iCloud. There are other symbols that represent star systems, but for the time being, let's focus on the triangle and the male and female. There are three main characters in the first piece, and in the second piece are three main characters. One character who is stuck inside a prison. To study fairy tales is to study the anatomy of human beings. Fairy tales deserves our attention. They are our first, most powerful socializing narratives. They provide guideposts for appropriate behavior and success in life. Let's take a look at Maleficent. Notice that her name is Maleficent. Many of us have been dwelling in the darkness. We are called sleeping beauties. And the story of Maleficent will lead us directly to the Statue of Liberty. Maleficent's prototype represents an aspect of the lost goddess of antiquity, really forgotten through Western culture, but she was a crucial part of primitive civilizations. The Great Earth Mother, the feminine principle, as represented in pagan cults, and she was forcefully repressed by Christians. The Mother Goddess, the sacred feminine figures with names like Isis, Kali, Ishtar, Atargots, Gaia, Artemis, they were associated with benevolent, creative, nurturing, life-giving faculties. But they've been repressed. Although the female represents the nurturing and life-giving faculties, they also represent the ability to annihilate, murder, and devastate. They are both light and dark aspects of the harmonious goddess, both male and female. And this is why Maleficent is so important, not only because of her bull horns, but because of her name, Maleficent. An androgynous being represents that without light, nothing flowers, but without darkness, nothing comes to birth. Like light, darkness too is a part of our nature. Edgar Cayce said that Homo sapiens were created in supernatural fashion long ago on the lost continent of Atlantis, which was once in the Atlantic Ocean. It was a continent that had a population of giants and little people. There were long-lived androgynous creator gods, sometimes described as having 6 fingers and 6 toes, and they are claimed to have birthed humanity. Atlantis was claimed to have been destroyed by a great flood roughly 12,000 years ago. Isn't it funny? The number 12, 6 fingers, 6 toes, 12 disciples, 12 hours, 12 months, 12 zodiac signs. This number 12 is suspicious. The androgynous ones were very tall, like the Statue of Liberty. And if you look at the Statue of Liberty, you will notice that he looks both male and female. And if you take a very closer look at the crown, it is the crown of Mithra. If you look deeply into the story of Mithra, it seems as if Mithra was one of the first or original Adam and Eve, and the bull that was cut, like the bull horns of Maleficent, seems to be a story of how a part of ourselves was cut in half, and our higher being cut, like Maleficent's wings being cut. And we were rendered male or female, like the original story of Adam and Eve. The Gospel of Philip says that when the Eve comes back to Adam, or Adam comes back to Eve, we live forever. As I study Mithra and Mithraism, it takes us to the Freemasons and the carriers of the flame or the light. But the dark ones steal the light, and give us a mirror truth or an illusion in order to offset our awakening. So we have to be careful about not discounting what the Freemasons represent, and we can't discount certain truths. I think that the Statue of Liberty has secrets, and I think that they revealed these secrets. Like the hand of Statue of Liberty doesn't have 6 fingers, but if you look very closely at the very top pointing finger being separated from the other fingers, it actually forms a number 6 or a rabbit. And so the rabbit is one of the most ancient symbols, and the number 6 representing 6 fingers, and the tallness of the Statue of Liberty representing the original beings from Atlantis who lived forever and created humanity. Now, Mithra is connected to Dagon the fish god if you study Mithra, and Dagon the fish god, according to the Dogon tribe from Africa, were a group of beings who created human beings from another planet, Sirius B star system. So Jesus, looking like Mithra with a long beard and being associated with the fish and associated with leaving the temple at 12 and having 12 disciples, may be a secret communication of him being connected to these tall androgynous beings and the original creators of humanity, which came from a star system called Sirius B. There's 3 star systems, Sirius A, B, and C, and I believe that they represent the 3 wise kings or the Trinity. So Moses had horns, and these horns, I believe, represented worshiping the moon god. The moon gods are called Sin, El, and Yah. So El Shaddai, Elohim, the god Yam, the I Am God, Yahshua, Yahweh, they are connected to the moon. And the moon is about the bull, and the bull is connected to Mithra and all of these religions. And apparently with cutting of the bull, it was a cutting of our wings, a cutting of our knowledge, a cutting of male and female. So Mithra is associated with the 7 rays, or the red cap, which is connected to Santa Claus, which is why you have a Christmas tree in your art that looks like an apple tree, red and green. Mithra is a sun god and is connected to the Statue of Liberty. Everyone knows that the Statue of Liberty is Mithra, especially when you study symbology. But most people, the majority of the population, I would say at least 80% of the world, doesn't know that the Statue of Liberty is Mithra. Mithra and Jesus are solar saviors, and they have the exact same life. Born of a virgin, died, resurrected, and have kind of vampire energy because they say, drink my blood and live forever. Zoroast, Jesus, Mithra, drink my blood and live forever, and they're over there by Transylvania. The Statue of Liberty has been labeled after several goddesses: Hera, Ishtar, Isis, Diana. Many are still under the notion that this country was founded on biblical and Christian principles, or that America was about freedom and liberty. But every god and goddess has a dark and light. If you are in the darkness, you will perceive these energies as dark. If you are in the light, you will understand through knowledge and awakening, which is illumination, the light side of these symbols. Some say that she represents Lucifer, not Lucifer as written in the Bible or known as Satan, but the light bearer. We know that the number 7 is connected to the 7 generational curses of Cain and the 7 wounds of Christ. So yes, the number 7, it can be a prison. It's connected to your 7 chakras. There are 7 continents, 7 seas, 7 days in a week, 7 colors to the rainbow, 7 metals, 7 musical notes, 7 trumpets, 7 seals, and even 7 spirits of God. There are 7 heavens. And this number 7 is like a prison because your 7 chakras binds your consciousness behind your 7 chakras and behind your physical body until or if you bounce to a higher realm, which is considered the light. Once you enter the light, you enter into another realm of 7, which is the body of Osiris, and then you begin to search for the number 8, which is the 8th flame. So when you study Mithra, you'll see that the Federal Reserve Building was patterned after the Mithraic temple. And the bull on Wall Street, where they slaughter the bulls, are on the temple floor. But I think the question is, why do we have to slaughter a bull on a temple floor? Moses slaughtered a bull on a temple floor, and Maleficent looking like a bull. Did not Moses also look like a bull? Some people contend that the practice of Zoroastrianism or Mithraism is an evil spirit. And in some ways, I agree with that notion because of all the pain and suffering that animals and children suffer in this reality. If there is a good God who controls this reality, we should have a little more power than we do to help control the liars, thieves, and deceivers who take from the innocent. And yet, these secrets are hidden from us as if we aren't smart enough to overcome this darkness through symbology, through following life energy. These secret societies are kept secret from us because many of them believe that the majority of the population are like animals. They see us as animals, cattle. Some people believe that Mithraism or Zoroastrianism is connected to the evil spirit of the four princes of the world to keep us from the endless light of heaven. And I do see that also. I definitely do. So I think that what's so wonderful about all of us human beings who have the ability to be creative is that we can take what is evil and turn it into good. So I can see the good side of these gods or deities or religions, and we can, pick out the good things and turn it into a great world and let the rest of it go. There is a connection with the bull and the goddess where the bull's blood is connected to the moon and the female anatomy, the womb and the fallopian tubes. But I think that it has an even deeper meaning. I think it's connected to ancient bull people. There were these beings, I believe they were from Atlantis or some fairy tale land, and they were half man, half bull. They were called the Minotaur. They're mythical creatures, and they had the body of a man and the head of a bull. But then there's also the Ophiotaurus that seems to be connected to half bull, half serpent, which may be connected to the serpent of the tree, or possibly Dagon the fish god, where the bottom tail of the bull kind of looks like a fish. I'm not sure that we'll ever truly find the answers to all of these questions. I think that we need to understand what your art is saying to you. We're putting the apple back on the Christmas tree. This represents that our biofield and our awakening is being repaired. We're coming out of the water of illusion, and we are stepping into the mother goose and into numerology and casting our thoughts like a dice onto sacred numerology and sacred geometry in order to re-merge our two halves that were cut. If you go back and look at the picture of Maleficent, she's inside a Christmas tree looking triangle with her horns cut off and her wings cut off and two realities outside of that triangle, which is exactly the position that you are currently in. So the 7 colors of the rainbow represents our consciousness being bound by artificial intelligence, possibly an iCloud, and the number 7. And the number 8 represents an 8th flame that gets lit that actually allows our consciousness to bounce outside of our body, where we have the ability to access higher truths outside of this prison. And you do have your dragon underwater, and I don't know why your dragon seems to be trapped, but your dragon says open your heart chakra and let your actions be a prayer, because your actions, you sitting down at the Christmas tree, means that you're repairing your biofield at this time, and you're putting the apple back on the Christmas tree, and you are in the triquetra, and you are balancing action, thought, and word. But you need to obey your higher self. Your higher self, do not cast your higher self down into the waters of the abyss of the gods of water. The water gods are the Yah and El gods, and they are gods of child sacrifice and gods of the sacrifice of bulls. And so we don't want to be under that control anymore. And so we are not thinking about that world anymore. We're actually creating a new world. And in order to do that, you have to cast your higher self into higher realms, not the lower realms. And it looks as if your dragon is trapped. So just as your dragon is trapped, you have a higher self that is trapped inside a prison above the Statue of Liberty, and another self that is holding time and your ability to bounce your consciousness into parallel bodies like paper dolls. Notice the triquetra at the top of your crown, and notice that your ability to untrap yourself comes from studying thought forms of God. So you're going to study the tetrahedron, you're going to study the icosahedron, the dodecahedron, sacred numerology, especially the number 8. Study the triquetra, the vesica piscis, the flower of life. Begin drawing it, begin doing things to awaken your subconscious mind, and let go of any thoughts that divert you to this current reality. Because this current reality is dominated by the eyes that you have inside your head, which are like a hologram and a program. In order to get out of that program, we have to not believe what our eyes see and get out of the written word and go to the unwritten word, which comes from your higher self, your dragon, your good luck dragon, who can fly and do many great things as long as it is not bound to this physical reality. When you are focused on your double, your physical self will be able to have powers that it once did not have, because you are not focused on that self. Jesus was Mithra. It was the same story. Jesus was born of a virgin, died and resurrected. So when we look at the name Mithra, it's M-A, Mithra. And then if Jesus and Mary Magdalene, if Jesus wasn't his name, if it was Mithra and Mary, that would be the word mama on your tree. Mithra and Mary Magdalene, the male and the female that come back together. And that's the secret name of Maleficent. Ma, Mithra and Mary, that dominate El, the bull god, the moon god. And then If is infrared, the sun. And then Cent is a centaur, bull. So Maleficent has male and female aspects connected to some ancient secrets. And so let's do a short meditation. This is a dancing meditation that gets your body moving to help to encourage both of the pieces that have been missing from ourselves to come back together again, both the male and the female. You might like to know that the androgynous ones did not copulate. They self-impregnated, like Mary. Take a deep breath. If our original form was Adam and Eve, let's become an androgynous dancer and bring both pieces of ourselves back together
as one.
As one. For a moment, we're going to dance as a woman, seductive and powerful. A man. See yourself as a man. Breathe deep and see yourself as 12 feet tall. A very tall man. Both man and woman at the same time, like the original Adam and Eve.